And what we've seen with utilitarianism, or majoritarianism, if you wish, is a sense in which we, the virtuous people, the majority who must be made happier, can be allowed to grow happier while making the lives of the minority, who are those inconvenient them, less and less pleasant. Jeremy Bentham, as you probably know, also wrote the Panopticon Papers, which every student of social science should read because they are chilling and highly relevant today. The Panopticon Papers was basically to say that people must be given the appearance of having a choice, but to have no choice. And if they made the wrong choice, which was not to labor, they would be punished. That's the essence of the Panopticon Papers. Now, we have seen a modern version of this developing since the 1980s. The latest euphemism by which the panopticon state has been taking shape is called libertarian paternalism. I always say at this point, and I'll say it again without apology, which is that if you have a bath regularly like I do, it's the sort of book, Nudge, written by these two American authors, which you should take into the bath because it will keep the bath water hot, will raise your blood pressure. And the idea of the nudge unit is to steer people to make the right choice. So they're using all sorts of techniques, all sorts of tests to get people, particularly people who are in the precariat, to make the right choice. And guess what comes with that? If you don't make the right choice, watch it. Now, this model of utilitarianism believes in insecurity. It believes that insecurity motivates people to labor, to save, to invest, to take risks. It's almost a crude Darwinian model. It rejects any sense of social solidarity. Because the end game of the utilitarian model, and I predicted this in 1990 because it seemed to me obviously and evident. If you go for flexibility and you go for means testing, and then you look for the deserving and the undeserving, and you go down that road, you have to end up with workfare. The worst thing of all in regard to workfare was recently two young students, you probably all know this story, if not, it should be ingrained in our collective memory. They were forced to do virtually unpaid labor because they were unemployed, and they took the government to court. And they said, look, it's not law, it's not a law that we have to do this. It's wrong. And the courts ruled in their favor. And what did the government do? The government rushed through emergency legislation within 2 days. You only meant to do emergency legislation when there's a national crisis. Bombs are dropping. Think how they ignored that. They rushed through this emergency legislation, making the offense retrospective. So that if you had refused and had your benefits stopped, you couldn't claim those benefits, even though you weren't breaking the law. Now, this is a fundamental principle of British civilization. It went like that. But what was equally scandalous was that the opposition, our proud representatives of the progressives, they ordered their MPs not to vote against it and made it a resignable offence for all the shadow cabinet. The utilitarians in the middle have lost it.